Hey guys, Dr. No here with my min-max video for Sorc healing for the Star Wars The Old Republic. And before we get started, this video applies to 3.3 of Star Wars. The updates will follow when we get to 4.0, but for right now, we're going to discuss the attributes that are most effective for your Sorc healer. Okay, so the first thing is let's talk about basically the five kind of attributes that come into play here. They're willpower, power, alacrity, surge, and crit. Those are the attributes that we're going to be balancing here to get us our highest amount of heals possible. So now I put willpower is by far the most important stat, and here's the reason why. If you hover over willpower right here, you can see that it's giving you a bonus to your force damage, it's giving you a bonus to your chance to crit, and it's giving you a bonus to your healing power. So the reason this is so important is because you're going to need to stack power and alacrity, but you still need some crit. So by using a willpower bonus in your augs and such, and in your gear as much as possible, you can maximize this effect without wasting valuable slots for your gear and such. So you want to actually, get the most bang for your buck without having to put in any crit anywhere in your build. You know what I mean? Okay, so that's why that one's the most important. The second most important is power, and the reason for that is if you come down over here to bonus healing, you'll see that power on this tune here is 1278 for an extra bonus of 217.3. You notice that the willpower bonus was 526, so this is still a pretty significant boost, okay? And power also has the ability of raising your constant heals. So when you're just running things and they're not critting, this number 2631 is higher than if you were to stack some other stat. Okay. Now when you actually crit, and you'll probably see one here in a second here. I'm going to do one here. If I can get it to crit, geez. There it goes. You see how it pops up 4409? That is affected by your crit multiplier here, how big that crit is, and your crit chance right here. But when you're not critting, you want to be doing as much healing as possible. So pretty much this build is a slow and steady wins the race build. Basically, you want to be pumping out the most DPS or HPS per second that you possibly can. And I found, at least for me, that the most stable way of doing that is stacking a lot of power. Okay, so the next important thing here is alacrity, and that's this one right down here. And you'll see that most of this gear, this is the healing set, and it has alacrity in it. Or power, depending on the piece, but mostly it's alacrity on almost every piece. Yep, and some of these have been modified to even have some more. And basically, this is a critical stat because at 6.24%, some people like to go even a little higher than that. This affects your regen rate, as you can see here, 6.24% from an alacrity rating of 516. I regenerate force power 6.24% faster than without all that. Okay, it also means that my channel speed is that much faster. So that would be this one right here, innervate. That's a channel right there. So I can channel this very quickly. And all of these, anything that takes any kind of a time frame at all, it affects that. Okay. The last thing is surge. I mean, the bigger the the bigger the heal when you do crit. Obviously, it's nice to get those real big heals once in a while when it does crit. It's nice to have, but it's the last on my list aside from actual crit, because it's helpful, you know. Let's see if I even have any surge added here. Yeah, here we go. There's some surge on my earpiece, surge on my ear, surge on my other earpiece. Yeah, that's it. So I have 3 pieces with a little bit of extra surge to try and just give me a little bit of extra boost. But really, my main thing here is I wanted to hover around 24-25% crit without having to add crit pieces, okay? And don't waste anything on accuracy for this kind of a build. You're not going to be hitting people, and if you do, it's only going to be to help finish them off or something for the most part. You know, I've tested it, and even like going full damage while you're in heal spec, I mean, you might put up 300, 400,000 in deeps. That's the most you're going to get. And you do not need accuracy for healing, so you need to focus on, like I said, the willpower. So in this particular build, every piece I have a level 36. Here, I'll just control this right here. Advanced Resolve Augment 36. Every piece I have has one of those on it to stack willpower as high as I can possibly get it. Okay, and there's a couple of other things about the gear. One of the other critical things is your relics. Okay, so your Dark Reaver Relic of Focused Retribution is your first one that you want to have, and that one will give you 30% chance to grant 770 willpower added to your base willpower for 6 seconds, and this will give you just huge heals, increase your crit, all kinds of stuff, okay? So this one is like really non-negotiable as a healer. I mean, you need that, okay? And then the second one helps you stack power. So 770 power on top of the willpower. When both of these things go off, let me tell you, you're going to put out some huge heals. If you just watch for a little while here, I'll just go through a couple cycles. Look at that, 47-14. Those are some pretty big ticks. 41-45. This is outside the battleground, and it's still big. Okay. Yeah, and you'll notice that, I mean, I'm critting fairly often, and I only have 24% crit. But when I hit, it's big. 44-50. Okay, because of all the bonus healing I have from right here. The 750, I'm sorry, the 600, oh yeah, notice, I forgot to show you here. Look at the willpower, 45-66, that's because one of these things procced. Okay, so, you know, the relics are those 2 relics are critical. So the Dark Reaver Relic of Serendipitous Assault and the Relic of Focused Retribution, okay? Those are awesome for healing. Okay, so that about wraps up this one for right now. I'm going to be going over some rotations and stuff in actual combat, and showing you some videos and working together with my buddy who runs a tank, and we can show you how to really work your rotations into some awesome heals.